So yeah. Let's talk about me. I I like this series, and I watched season 1, and it actually made me look up Arcane, because before this I didn't know anything about Arcane. Well, besides it exists. This is based on League of Legends. Arcane is from League of Legends. If you don't get why I'm being like, oh, I didn't know about Arcane. Arcane sort of based off League of Legends, and I didn't know about League of Legends. I'm not going to be like, I knew nothing, because if you are a person online, someone's going to bring up, like, League of Legends, like, heroes, characters. Like, I've also heard it's a very complicated game and very hard to play. Which is why I will never play it. Spoiler alert. But one of the things I liked about the last one, and I am going to put this in here, because it is fitting here, because it's not really a spoiler, in a way, but it is sort of like a thing. But the one thing I liked about season 1 is the songs were good. And some of the songs, definitely during one of the moments where you get like this whole tunnel system, I'm not going to say what that's referring to, you try and decipher what tunnel systems refer to. If you know the spoilers, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm trying to do without giving away story details. But that song, I would say it's the best in the series. That goes to like the time one, where like you have him going with his timepiece, and it goes back in time. I think that works. That's how that works. It looks that way. Anyway, I like that whole idea of like having that sort of like use that timepiece as sort of like a way to sort of like, that song is amazing, and this song is still good. I'm not denying that. It is still amazing, but it's not as good as that one. I also like some of the other stuff, which I feel like I need to talk about a bit. So, one of the things I do think was really good was some of the sort of stuff, because, again, there's one of the characters that I did know a bit about, because there's one song which is This Is War. I think it's This Is War 3. There's a lot of This Is War, and it's a bunch of song things, and they're really good. But the one I think I like the most, I think it's This Is War 3 or This Is War 4. And it has one of the characters who a lot of people said had a bit of connection to this person. I'm like, what does this mean? I am very confused, because they look different, but they had the same hat. They had the same sort of mannerisms. And it was a bit confusing. Not that way, more like one's human, one's an animal. Not in any bad way. But that idea was like, what are we going to... Okay. And with that, I was intrigued. And then they died. They did the same, like, finger gun that sort of like Jinx does. Also, I'm getting a Jinx display because, yes. Just yes. But that sort of, all of that had the same thing of like, it is amazing, it is awesome, and I love it. I just love the whole sort of like, his sort of like story. You also have Jinx sacrificing herself, which I don't believe. I'm going to fully say this, because Arcane takes place before League of Legends, and Jinx still is a playable character. So I would like to point out, I highly doubt that she is dead, because she is still in League of Legends. And besides, if you can raise the dead, which I don't know if you can do, I highly doubt that. But I do like Jinx's whole story with the revolution and all that stuff. And I do love the war, which is basically top side and bottom side fighting together as an army. Yes. That was so amazing. Having both sides fight together with both I think there's two techs. Hex tech and the other tech. But let me see if I can get it. has a name. Hex tech, which is very important because you have hex tech and then you have another tech, which but it's really cool how you have both techs fighting alongside each other. You also have, I think, because the one other thing is both Jinx and Vi's sort of like father figure died, but the character which exists in this other version of him with his mutation outside in the game. Again, I'm referring to the game because this supposedly is canonical to the game. Like, this takes place before the game happens. So I don't know how they're going to bring him back, in a way, because I thought they were going to somehow bring him back somehow, because he's still alive. And I'm really interested with some of the characters. There's also the other universe, which I feel like that's interesting, because they have said they are going to do other series, which, with League of Legends saying this kind of is holding this to high regards, but does that mean, because sort of League of Legends has multiple other worlds, are they going to go to the other ones? Which I'm interested in, because some of them sound really funny. I'm not going to say them, but if you want to know about them, there's a film theory about it. Watch that. But I do like it. I do find it really interesting, and I do find it really exciting about all of this absolute madness. But that's besides the point. It's just absolutely 100% amazing, absolutely worth watching, and fully just awesome. I think it's just great in that amazing way. So yeah, it's just fun. I don't know why. I'm trying to say stuff, but I can't. It's just good, with amazing characters, writing. I also there's one person who's sort of in the way, and you get her in the wall when she's on the other side. She gets defeated, which is good. We also get the question of how they survived, which is fun. But yeah, I just think it's 100%. I am going to be less on spoilers on this section, but I think it's 100% worth watching. It is amazing. It is awesome. With great character work. And legitimately, I don't know if there's going to be Arcane Season 3. Let me just try. I've heard they might not do Arcane Season 3. I've heard maybe there's a possibility that they won't do a Season 3. Let me just double check. I want there to be a Season 3. Will there be a Season 3? Not Season 3 so much, but individual stories of certain characters that are in Arcane in both seasons. So yeah, they're not going to do Arcane, but they're going to pick certain characters who are going to have more highlighted stories. Which, legitimately, if this is sort of building up to what Arcane will become, doing more individual characters, I think, overall, will be a better concept and a better way forward. I 100% agree with that idea. Season 1 and Season 2 were great as two pieces, but I want to see where they can take this, what characters are they going to focus on, and how they're going to move forward, and what's going to happen. What's going to happen at the end of the fight? I want to know. It's really good and 100% really exciting for me to know, and I'm really hyped up. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like this mad video. But yeah, good night.